Action.
With a personality shaped by being an athlete and a background in mainstream sports media, I found that the stories I was most interested in telling were the ones often overlooked, the ones that might not otherwise be told, the ones that show the intangible and not just the highlight reel. The Sports Council is about highlighting the great, the good, the unique,
Welcome
and
to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports.
I'm Jamie Council,
and we're joined by Steve Woods, head coach at Kamiakin Baseball, sitting atop the MCC, ranked second in the state. It's been a pretty good season thus far for you guys.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride, and I think that's kind of been our emphasis this year, is just enjoying the moment, having a blast. And these kids have really taken to it and let the chips fall where they fall. You know, if you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. Put everything you got into it, be prepared, and have a blast. And they've done a good job of taking to that.
What's made the difference this year? Because it's as close as it gets. You have Richland, the defending state champions, ranked third in the state. And just recently, you guys beat them 2-1. So a very close game, but the Braves have separated themselves. What do you attribute that little bit of separation that makes a difference in the game of baseball?
Yeah, I just think, you know, it comes down to mistakes. And if you're able to play clean baseball and stay together, good things happen. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's hard to say there's a whole lot of separation at times, because baseball's any day. You know, you can beat them, they can beat you. That's the way it is. But I would say our biggest attribution right now would definitely go towards the senior group. We have a good senior group, veteran group, with very solid leadership. And when you're playing as one, that's a big piece.
And what year is this for you as head coach of the Braves?
This is my 8th year at Kamiakin.
8th year at Kamiakin,
yep. And
you guys have last won the MCC in 2019. So you've seen groups, and where does this group kind of sit when you're taking a look? And sometimes you don't really know what a group is made of, but what have you seen from this group?
This group's special. I've been a head coach for 13 years now, and this is a group that I've never experienced. Just from top to bottom, contributors throughout the lineup, guys coming off the bench. It's been huge, and to have guys that are so bought into the program and the culture that they're okay not to start a game and stay in the game when their number's called, they're ready to go. And that's impressive. So that's a big piece that with this group I've just never seen before.
And it's tough in the game of baseball because anybody can beat anybody on any given day. Your only loss has been to Kennewick. And what does it take to get the best from this group every game that makes the difference of being good or being great?
It's just staying within yourself, not trying to do something that you're not trying to be someone you're not, and staying with the plan. And once when this group does that, there's always a chance that we can come out on top. And that's just the truth. And this group is very special.
So over a decade of head coaching experience, what has been your journey in baseball, so to speak?
In terms of where I've came from?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I started college. When I was in college, I started coaching randomly. A classmate asked me, he said, "Hey, don't you play baseball, or did you play baseball?" I said, "Yeah." And he says, "Yeah, Cheney High School is actually looking for a freshman coach." And I was a junior in college at this point. Well, I went and talked to the head coach, and I got that job, which was kind of funny because I started coaching when I was 20. And then I did the JV the next year there. And then I did some summer baseball there. And then I moved back. And that's when I got the head coaching job at Kaibi High School. And did that for 5 years. And then now I'm here at Kamiakin. So I kind of jumped right into it. And I was, you know, kind of blessed with opportunities, put in a really good situation in Kaibi, and had a lot of good players and a lot of success there that kind of catapulted me to this position to be successful here.
And what about as a player?
As a player, I played high school baseball at Riverview High School. I played for Brian Eisenbarth. My experience in high school was such a good experience that's how I always knew I wanted to coach. Once, you know, you get to that point in your career where it's like, I'm ready to move on. because the reality of it is, not many people make it. And that's what I did when I got done with high school. I just moved on and I just jumped right into college. I did not play in college, but I just jumped right into the coaching aspect.
So it's kind of come full circle, starting in the Tri-Cities, wearing a different red than being a Brave. Earlier you mentioned having good players to rely on, and Kamiakin making a name for itself this year, but then you had Tristan Vreeling a part of your MCC champion team. How cool is it just to be able to be a part of their journey as a coach in high school?
That's the best part. Just being a part of that freshman year to senior year journey. And we really instill the culture in terms of how we can grow them as young men and how to be contributing people as they get older. And that's the piece that I really enjoy. And we do classroom work on Wednesdays. And that was kind of started with the Vreeling, with the Snowmageddon year. We didn't know what to do, so we found ourselves in the classroom a lot. And that's where we were able to start instilling that. And this group has taken off with that. But yeah, just being able to see them grow as young adults, and the kids around here have been incredible.
Yeah, whether it be whatever they decide to do at the next level, or like Tristan Vreeling went to Gonzaga and now part of the Yankees organization.
Right.
And you talked about culture. What is the culture here at Kamiakin?
We kind of base it off of our pillars, and we base everything around that. And we make sure that kids understand that you're going to fail, you're going to lose, bad things are going to happen. And our big thing is being able to bounce back, being able to be tough people, just like in life, right? Bad things happen. Maybe you don't get the job. Maybe you do get hired. Maybe you don't. How are you going to respond? And I think that's the biggest thing that kids have bought into, and being able to minimize when things don't go your way. How can you minimize it and move on? And, this senior group has really, really taken the bull by the horns in terms of that. And that culture has kind of bled throughout. And the coaching staff here has done an incredible job pushing that out. So that's a big piece that I like to attribute to them.
Coaching staffs, there's obviously player to player, they want to win. They want to beat Richland. They want to beat Kennewick. But there's a little bit of that culture, too, within coaches, that competitiveness, should you say.
Sure, yeah. No, there's always that where certain coaches want to beat you really bad, and I get it. But I try to stay away from all that. I try and keep it about the kids. And, if we win, and I just go into everything we did everything we could. We prepared, we scouted, we got the kids prepared, we practiced hard, we held them accountable. If we win, that's great. If we drop a game, we move on and we wipe the blood off and we move forward. So,
Well, Kamiakin having a great season. Season's not over yet. We're going to talk a little bit about the team on the diamond when we come back. We're going to take a break and hear from our sponsors. You're listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports.
This Mother's Day, treat Mom to something sweet. Krispy Kreme's Minis for Mom collection. A box of 16 delicious, beautifully decorated mini donuts made just for her. New limited time flavors are coming. Download the Krispy Kreme app to stay in the loop on Grads, Father's Day, and more. Raising money for a team, church, or nonprofit, we're still taking fundraiser signups. Visit your local Krispy Kreme at 2805 Dupertail in Richland. Come in with a sweet tooth, leave with a smile.
Inconveniences can happen at, inconvenient times. JRT Mechanical has plumbers and HVAC technicians available 24/7 if an emergency does arise. Or if you feel like your house isn't cooling like it used to, or if you're tired of a hose leaking from last winter's freeze, JRT is an honest, reliable company that's been in the Pacific Northwest for more than 3 decades. Give JRT Mechanical a call at 509-314-4314 or visit jrtmechanical.com.
If you've got a winery, brewery, or dairy, why buy industrial parts and supplies from across the country? Central Industrial Sales is your local source for supplies and equipment for the dairy, food processing, winery, winery, and brewing industries. We specialize in custom fabrication, industrial cleaning equipment, sanitary fittings, valves, pumps, chemicals, and many other supplies. Everything's available through our website, by phone, or by dropping by our office. Call 509-375-4032 or find us at centralindustrialsales.com.
You're listening to Jamie Council on the Sports Council.
We're back on the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports, catching up with Steve Woods, head coach of Kamiakin baseball, ranked second in the state, sitting atop the MCC. And in segment one, we talked about a strong senior group and the culture that's taking you a few years to build up, that the Braves are hitting their stride.
Yeah, it's just, it's one of those things too with culture. You can't preach it and not live it. And I think, as I've grown as a coach, I've realized that. I've gotten better at it. I've learned from experiences. You can't panic in tough situations and then expect them to be calm. And I think I've really learned and grown from that as I've went. And that's kind of bled through to the kids. They see more truth behind it. And then we kind of start to mesh better in terms of culture. And then, of course, when you got a big senior class like this, they run the ship. And we're just here to steer it.
So let's get into some of the names that are making the difference on Kamiakin baseball. We'll start with the seniors.
There's a lot of them to name. There really is. And not just, they all contribute in different ways. And that's the best part about this group. If it's something little to something big, it's all adding up. It's like the puzzle, right? You got a little bit from everybody. You got Sconewell. He comes in and he pitches for us once in a while. And when he's called upon in these crazy situations, bases loaded, whatever the situation is, he just comes in and he just does his best. And that's what we ask, right? Have fun, do your best, man. And he's always, the first guy to clean the field, to help out in the bullpen, those kind of things. You got guys like Tyson Garillo. He's just nonstop work, here early, here late, always contributing. Man, the list goes on. Trent Woodhouse, nonstop worker. Tommy Lamb. I could be here for a while. Listen, think about guys like Landon Hall, right? His improvement behind the plate this year has been off the charts because he's so bought into this program and doing what's best for Kamiakin. So all these guys, man, Dennis Babcock, whatever he's called upon to do something, it's yes, sirs. That's all we get. There's no attitude. It's just yes, sir. Zach Swanson's another one, right? Last year was a starter for us most of the season. This year was mostly a starter, and we've kind of transitioned more into him coming out of the bullpen, and it's all smiles. There's no questioning it. There's none of that, and that's the piece that's incredible.
Yeah, and I love the way you answered that question too, where I said, tell me about some of the leaders, and you told me about the leaders, about the ones that are establishing that culture, that are here early, that are staying late, and of course contributing on the baseball field too. That is a part of that. In the pitching, on the mound, who are your go-to guys? I want to dig into more of the baseball part of it, but I love how you answered that question.
Yeah, Zach Vega has done an incredible job jumping into that number one spot this year. And it definitely wasn't given to him because there was a ton of competition, but he took it. And like we had this conversation beginning of the year with a few guys, it's up for a few of you. And he's just been so dominant and so under control and really taken over that number one spot, and then Zach Swanson's been amazing on the mound as well. So is Scone. Taryn Carlson's really came on. We've always known he's special, but he's really putting it all together and giving us good, solid outings. Then you got Trent Woodhouse and Tommy Lamb, two more seniors that are, it's like whenever we need someone to come in, and, the kids gave Woodhouse the nickname Mr. Shoves last year, and it's just kind of stuck with him. And he just gets the job done when needed, and Tommy Lamb was our two last year for the most part. And this year comes in and he throws the no-hitter against Pasco. And everybody's just, the pitching staff has been incredible this year.
Yeah, and it starts there. And what about on the bats? Who are the big bats for the Braves?
That's a funny question because it's usually you can name one or two guys. But when you're 9 hitters hitting 450, 500, that's pretty impressive. So like I said before, we've gotten production from everywhere. Now it might look a little different, maybe a little louder, but at the end of the day, production's production, right? Tanner Davis, a sophomore, has been very productive for us at the plate this year. He's done multiple things for us, kind of the Swiss Army knife kind of guy. Tommy Lamb and Trent Woodhouse have, been extremely effective at the plate, very productive in high pressure situations. Tyson Grillo, Caylor Hayward. We've had a lot of guys step up this year at the plate.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys, which you wouldn't be ranked second in the state and atop the MCC if you weren't deep.
Sure.
What about guys that have really made just huge strides this year that people maybe didn't know their names, and this year it's like, wow, who is that, showing up for Kamiakin?
Yeah. I think Landon Hall sticks out to me. He's been dominant behind the plate, and he's really good. And it's just shows the character he has to focus in and buy in and believe what we're doing and what we're teaching and take the bull by the horns and grow and develop. He's been really, really good, not just behind the plate defensively, but, when asked to come in and hit, he's been nails. I think Tyson Garillo has been exceptionally well this year. He's kind of taken a big role this year. This year was his first varsity at bat as a senior, and now he's just improved so much, and it's shown.
So hearing the names in the Tri-Cities, you have a lot of multi-sport guys. You talk about Trent Woodhouse, quarterback for the football team. How do you approach that as a coach? Because obviously you want their best from them, but you also see a lot of very dominant multi-sport athletes.
Yeah, and just in terms of general answering that question in terms of multi-sport athletes, I am such a pro of multi-sport athletes. Tanner Davis is another one, right? He started on the varsity basketball team as a sophomore. I just feel like they gain so much in terms of what it feels like to be in that spot and the spotlight and have expectations put on you. And that's a big piece that people from the outside don't usually see. And to be able to perform under that spotlight, and these guys that are multi-sport athletes, they're able to go through that in multiple different environments. And I think the transfer or the translation there between multi-sport athletes and production is skyrockets. It really does. These guys are used to it. It's not out of the norm for them.
And you kind of see a lot of places in club, they're telling you to play one sport, play one position. And that's something I love. A lot of coaches in the Tri-Cities do push multi-sport athletes supporting other programs. And I think it's good for people, but we live in a world that kind of pushes that on a lot of athletes.
Right. I'm a realist with the kids, right? We've had a lot of good players from here go play college baseball. And at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, what percentage is in the big leagues? What percentage, let's be real with each other here. I'm not saying you can't make it. I'm just saying enjoy your time you have now. Enjoy playing multiple sports. Enjoy your friends. This is your group that you're in high school with. Enjoy all this because this is the time that you'll talk about when you're out of here. And I like to make sure we preach that to the kids and they understand that. We don't want to be looking into, when you're at college or when you're at the next step, because the time is now to enjoy it. So, and I think they bought into that.
And if you're not enjoying it, it's hard for you to put in as much time and as much effort. The best work is done when you don't realize you're working.
Absolutely. Of course. No, it's totally true.
So one final question. Kamiakin really gone the distance thus far, but a bit more to go as playoffs are about to get started. In your mind, what is it going to take? What do the Braves need to focus on to go the distance?
Yeah, I think that we just need to continue to focus on ourselves, control what we can control, what's in front of us right now. I call them sleepy Wednesdays, right? You just played a big game on Tuesday. Are you going to get after it and get yourself better today? Or are you just going to walk through the motions? And I think that's what it comes down to. You know, are we disciplined enough to take every single day to get better? Are you going to take days off? And I think that's what it's going to take for us, because we have all the pieces. You just, you know, and then baseball's baseball. You got to hope that sometimes something rolls your way. It's just the way it works.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck moving forward.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Again, that is Steve Woods, head coach of Kamiakin baseball, ranked second in the state. When we come back, we'll hear from a couple of the players listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports.
Inconveniences can happen at, well, inconvenient times. JRT Mechanical has plumbers and HVAC technicians available 24/7 if an emergency does arise. Or if you feel like your house isn't cooling like it used to, or if you're tired of a hose leaking from last winter's freeze, JRT is an honest, reliable company that's been in the Pacific Northwest for more than 3 decades. Give JRT Mechanical a call at 509-314-4314 or visit jrtmechanical.com.
If you've got a winery, brewery, or dairy, why buy industrial parts and supplies from across the country? Central Industrial Sales is your local source for supplies and equipment for the dairy, food processing, winery, and brewing industries. We specialize in custom fabrication, industrial cleaning equipment, sanitary fittings, valves, pumps, chemicals, and many other supplies. Everything's available through our website, by phone, or by dropping by our office. Call 509-375-4032 or find us at centralindustrialsales.com.
This Mother's Day, treat Mom to something sweet. Krispy Kreme's Minis for Mom collection. A box of 16 delicious, beautifully decorated mini donuts made just for her. New limited time flavors are coming. Download the Krispy Kreme app to stay in the loop on grads, Father's Day, and more. Raising money for a team, church, or nonprofit, we're still taking fundraiser signups. Visit your local Krispy Kreme at 2805 Dupertail in Richland. Come in with a sweet tooth, leave with a smile.
Listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, the Tri-Cities leader in sports.
I'm Tommy Lamb. I'm a senior here at Kamiakin. I play center field, and I'm a pitcher.
I'm Caylor Hayward, and I play third base and second base as well.
Kamiakin seems to be the team in the MCC this year.
Yeah, it's been great. We've been having a lot of fun this year, and it's something we've been putting an emphasis on. And I think that's been a game changer because at practice, you know, we get these nice days. We get to go out. We got to have some fun, and then we take that same energy into the games, and we're just having fun, playing our best baseball, playing loose. And, yeah, it's been working out for us pretty good so far, and we're ready to keep it rolling.
It's just a family out here. A lot of us have grown up for a long time together. I'm the new one in the batch coming here as a freshman, being new to the school. But, I mean, it's really just a family environment. Like, everyone accepts you, and I wouldn't want to be out here with anyone else but these guys on any other day. You know, it's just a blast.
So last year to this year, it was probably kind of cool watching a Tri-Cities team win state. How does that contribute to this year's team?
Yeah, absolutely. I think here in the Tri-Cities, we're kind of blessed. We always have good teams, and they take deep playoff runs, whether it's 3A, 4A. Last year with Prep winning it as well. I mean, here in the Columbia Basin, we're pretty blessed. It's pretty much like Baseball Town USA, up and down the charts. So I think always having that, it's always a sense that we can do it on this side. And, you know, there's those big city teams on the other side, and they usually have that confidence, and I feel like we kind of get overlooked over here in all sports, honestly. But it happens, and every year we seem to prove over here on this side that we can do it. And obviously last year was a good example of that. So we know we can do it. And, yeah, we're staying hungry. We're keeping that confidence up, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of the game is just, like, coming out here and competing against teams at a high level. I mean, the MCC is – every year you have teams going, 3 or 4 teams going to state, you know, small teams, big teams, 4A, 2B, you know, big teams going every year. So it's kind of exciting to see, like, a team from the MCC or from the east side go out there and win it. So hopefully we can just keep that same attitude and maybe go get one ourselves. So
we kind of build those rivalries and those relationships with other baseball players and that competitive spirit. And I think that's what contributes to it, because then all the way up through middle school, you know, you're playing those same guys, and everybody wants to beat everybody. Then you get to high school, and it's the same thing. And each step of the way, it's just elevated, I feel like. And that's just the kind of the culture we have up and down, you know, MCC, all around this area. And I think that's what contributes to it for sure.
So right now, Kamiakin ranks second in the RPI, top of MCC. How have you guys progressed from last year to this year? What do you think the Braves do so well that has put you in this position?
I mean, we had a really good squad last year. We have a really good squad this year as well, I believe. And I think this year we're just really focused on like what's behind us. We're living right here. We're taking it a pitch at a time, a game at a time. And, staying where our feet are at. We're not really worried about rankings. We're not worried about 2 weeks from now. Right now we're focused on today, and then we'll be focused on the game we play, when we play it, the inning, when it's that inning, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, to like add to what we said, we're staying where our feet are. We're not trying to get too ahead of ourselves, just day by day, step by step, adding to it, just putting pieces together here and there. And then, this year, what's made the big difference is we had some guys just step up and fill in some roles that we couldn't get done last year. But yeah, it's been the game changer this year for us.
And for you guys personally, what have your biggest steps been from that last year to this year as baseball players?
For me, I think it's been just getting in the weight room a lot, but also just like playing with a little more confidence. Like last year, I didn't have a bad year last year, played a few games here and there, but just this year I just been like, I have nothing left to lose. So I'm just going to come out here and have fun and let it all go. So that's been the game changer for me.
With it being my senior season, this whole off season, I feel like I hit it harder in the weight room and in the gym. And then obviously once we get out here, it's just, it's been a confidence thing for me this year, and just playing with the most confidence I can, and knowing that it's my senior year and we're only guaranteed so many games. So why not go out and play your best and have fun doing it? And then, there's highs and lows through it all, but it's just being confident through it all, and then trying to enjoy, every valley, every mountain peak, as they say, or whatever.
The coaching staff, I think across the board in Washington, they're so close. You're taking things, you're stealing things, and also you have some very veteran coaches in this area. How have they helped you in your journey that's led you to being now a senior here at Kamiakin?
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, it's a pretty loaded question because I feel like these coaches, it's fun, honestly, in my time being here, it's fun to watch the coaches kind of compete with each other in the way, because obviously we're out there playing, but they're the ones that are, scheming it all, and they're really going against each other as well. So that's always fun to watch. But yeah, I mean, the coaches are always there to help you at every high point, every low point. They know what to expect when they're coming into games. They've seen these teams play. They know these coaches, and I feel like our coaches have always done a good job of preparing us mentally, physically, all the above for what to expect. And then it's never really a shell shock once we get into these games, because I feel like most of the times we know what to expect.
I think that like our coaches do a great job on like getting us prepared, but it's like fun to see like the chess match between the coaches here. I mean, you got a lot of veteran coaches in the MCC, but it's also been interesting this year having 2 new coaches come into our coaching staff this year, but it's just been a blast. I mean, staying after practice, they more than welcome to get you some extra reps or like help you out on a swing or just whatever it is. They're always like involved, and they're just trying to get you to be the best baseball player they can be. So yeah, it's just a blast,
So seeing how this season wraps up is the big question mark here. I know where you guys want it to end up. And but after high school, what's next for you guys being seniors?
I'm going to Whitworth University to play baseball, and I'm going to study finance and business, and I'll be up there with Coach Perry, Coach Ulrich, and taking what I've learned here and applying it there, because I think I've learned a lot of very valuable lessons here.
For me right now, after high school, I'm undecided. I haven't really made a whole lot of plans, kind of just living in the moment for me, kind of how I've lived life. But I mean, like he said, I can't be more thankful for this program. I made some lifelong friends on this baseball team and in that school. So it's been great. I mean, honestly.
Well, thank you guys for your time, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
The Braves start district play on Saturday. Kamiakin will host Meade. First pitch set for 1 o'clock. Well, that wrap up this week's show of the Sports Council. Thank you for joining me on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports. A reminder, the Sports Council happens 4 times a month, 11:30 a.m. on Thursdays. But you can listen to the show not just over the airwaves at 11:30 on Thursdays, but also on demand at 1340ESPNradio.com via podcast. Wherever you get your podcasts, just search for the Sports Council. And it's also also available via YouTube. So lots of ways to listen to the Sports Council and support our local sports community. Until next time, I'm Jamie Council. Now we go back to your originally scheduled Seattle sports programming.